Megabass P5 Destroyer Daemos. This rod is pretty interesting here. This is my first time actually bending this rod, so I'm pretty excited to see how it goes. This rod is, oh, Jesus, Pete. All right, here we go. All right. Megabass P5 Destroyer. This rod here is the Daemos. This one here is 7'2" is a medium plus power, and it is a fast action. It is designed for accurately casting single hook moving baits. So if you are running down a bank and you are trying to put a buzz bait underneath docks or right along the side of a laydown, if you're roll casting spinner baits into little patches of vegetation or end of tree limbs or anything like that, swim jigging especially, if you're firing that around brush or behind pads or runs of weed lines, inside weed lines, things like that, if you're trying to accurately snipe cast, as they would call it at Megabass, throw your single hook baits, that's what you look to do with this rod. Like I said, it's a 7'2" fast action, medium plus power. Excited to go bend this thing. Let's go check out the Daemos. All right, well, we're on a run here, a really good run. These are rods that are, the descriptions are insanely accurate. We've been bending a whole bunch of these. This was exactly what it sounds like. It's a fast action, medium plus power. I would say maybe a little slower than fast than the other ones that were dead on accurate, but I would say if you just put a little bit of pressure on the rod, you're seeing that the action absolutely is a faster action. That top third of the rod is where most of the dancing and the rod blank's going on there. But let's get a little slack line on there. But if I set the hook on this thing, that's where that like less than medium heavy power kicks in. And you can see you can kind of load this blank up pretty good. And then that fast action kind of slides into almost a medium fast, like some of the other rods are indicating is that. I would say working the bait, it's a fast action rod, but on a hook set, it is more of a little bit slower of a taper. So I do think, just by the feel of this rod so far, I could probably get away with more than single hook bait fishing with this thing. I think this would be a pretty nice, I mean, this rod is insanely light. I could really see myself enjoying fishing even like a square bill with this thing. And like I said, I'm a little bit different than most. I like graphite rods for a lot of my a lot of my treble hook baits. Topwater is what comes to mind a lot to me with this rod. It's got a slow enough taper. I think you're going to be pretty safe landing some fish with some smaller hooks. So pretty cool rod here, the Daemos from Megabass, another cool moving bait rod.